The so-called glam yoga teacher is in court. The trial of Kaitlin Armstrong starting now, and I mean right now.
You heard the lady, like right meow. Let's get into it.
Glam yoga teacher.
Kaitlin Armstrong, 35, is charged with first-degree murder in the May 11th, 2022 shooting death of Anna Moriah Wilson, who was 25. Armstrong was allegedly furious that her boyfriend, professional cyclist Colin Strickland, had secretly gone out on a date with Wilson. A 43-day manhunt for Armstrong ensued when she skipped town after being questioned and released by police about why her 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee was caught on surveillance video near the scene of the murder. Police didn't have enough evidence to make an arrest, but Armstrong proceeded to sell her vehicle and hop on a plane. She went from Austin to Houston to New York and eventually landed in Costa Rica. Armstrong was captured in Costa Rica in July of 2022. She had apparently undergone plastic surgery and dyed her hair. She was laying low at a hostel and had been using her sister's passport. Armstrong was extradited to the U.S., where she pleaded not guilty to the murder charge. Bail was set at $3.5 million, and she has remained in custody ever since. This is the trial of Texas versus Kaitlin Marie Armstrong. Welcome to day 6 of the Kaitlin Armstrong Love Triangle Murder Trial. Today's updates are brought to you by Fox 7 and The Independent UK. Day 6 gets into a lot happening in the days following Moriah Wilson's death as law enforcement immediately zoned in on Colin Strickland and Kaitlin Armstrong. APD soon learned that Armstrong had an outstanding warrant for a past minor theft. It was Botox she didn't pay for, to be exact. So let me tell you the story about Kaitlin Armstrong's stolen Botox. Like, how do you steal Botox? So what she did was she went and had the procedure done. And then when it was time to pay, she had like a credit card and she said, oh, wait a minute, I want to use a different card. She left the MasterCard on the counter, went out to her car and left and never paid for the procedure. So anyways, she was arrested on that outstanding warrant, but for some reason they had her date of birth wrong on the warrant versus what her real date of birth was. So I don't know if she lied at the clinic about her date of birth. Not sure. There's something hokey that went on there though, for sure. So she was arrested on that outstanding warrant and brought in to be questioned about Moriah Wilson by Detective Katie Connor. And they watched the whole interview of her in the Austin Police Department where they come in and they say, you know, you're really not under arrest, you're free to go type thing. And she's like, okay, so you just came to my house, cuffed me for no reason. We went over that in a previous video. But in the middle of the interview, Detective Connor was told the date on the birth warrant did not appear to be accurate. So they told her she was free to go. In the full interview, played to jurors Thursday morning, Armstrong said multiple times, I would like to leave, yet she doesn't. During questioning by the state, Detective Connor said she believed Armstrong was trying to stay and see what police knew. The defense asked if Detective Connor or anyone from the APD told Armstrong after that not to leave Austin or even the state or the country. Detective Connor said no one told her that. Armstrong did leave shortly after. Jurors heard from the man who found Armstrong in Costa Rica after a 40-plus day manhunt. This is going to be good. Through working with the local authorities and, quote, old-fashioned police work, U.S. Marshals were able to track Armstrong to a hostel in Santa Teresa. Deputy Marshal Emir Perez said when he arrived at the hostel, he saw a woman in the lobby sitting and talking with a man. She looked similar to Armstrong, but she had a bandage over her nose, swollen lips, and darker hair. Perez started speaking to her in Spanish. She took out her phone to use Google Translate. Perez was able to get closer to her and said, quote, "I was able to confirm it was her based on her eyes." He notified local authorities and she was arrested. Perez described Armstrong as polite and cooperative in his interactions with her. During state questioning of Perez, he admitted that when first asked her name by local authorities, Armstrong said it was Ari Martin. Some of the items later found in her belongings included a receipt for cosmetic surgery under the name Allison Page with 2 S's.
I heard Eduardo with like a G.
Christine Armstrong's passport with a Costa Rica stamp on May 18th and Kaitlin Armstrong's passport with no stamp. When asked by the prosecution, Perez said that Kaitlin was using 3 to 4 aliases abroad. The defense asked about the items seized from Armstrong, which included a bag or suitcase. The items included clothes, shoes, receipts, identification, and credit cards. The defense asked about the chain of custody of those belongings, to which Perez said he had no idea who had touched the belongings and technically could not verify all the items belonged to Armstrong. An interpreter was also brought in as a witness. She translated messages that were sent back and forth between an Allison Page and a plastic surgeon, Jorge Badilla. Page is thought to be an alias of Armstrong's given the tie to her email address. Several messages were sent from Page asking about how quickly the surgeon could get her in and the cost of a rhinoplasty. During another witness's testimony, Detective Katie Connor with APD, a receipt was shown for a cosmetic procedure totaling over $6,000. Detective Daniel Portnoy was also called as a witness. He's with the Austin Police Department's Digital Forensic Unit and regularly examines and extracts data from digital devices. One of the devices he was asked about was the infotainment system from Armstrong's car, which he extracted data from. An infotainment system is responsible for GPS in the car. The prosecution pulled up a generated map that features the track points of Armstrong's car on May 11th, 2022. That data is converted into an animation, which shows a blue line moving around roads, showing the path the vehicle took. Portnoy says they were able to verify the timing of the data within 4 seconds, based on comparisons with the surveillance footage recovered. According to the animation and Portnoy, at 7:35 p.m., Armstrong's vehicle approached I-35 before turning on MLK Jr. Boulevard. The vehicle then turns onto Cedar and Maple Avenue. Armstrong appeared to be watching the animation of her car traveling down Maple Avenue. Portnoy testified that the car stayed in this general area for at least an hour and did several loops. The line shows the vehicle moving around 18th Street, Maple, and the back alley behind the house. By 8:37 p.m., Portnoy says the vehicle appears to be at the alley behind Maple. Previous witness testimony explained that the only way to enter the garage apartment where Wilson was staying with friend Caitlin Cash was through this alley. And we showed this alley in a video in a previous coverage of Day of Trial. At 8:40, the track point ended. Portnoy previously explained that once a car is turned off, the track point ends. According to Portnoy, the final point is a grassy parking area near Maple Avenue Alley. A new route is examined after this. It starts at 9:17 p.m. The prosecution asks if Portnoy is aware of the time the gunshots went off in the area. He testified that the gunshots went off 5 minutes or sooner. In his testimony, Portnoy shared that this route showed the car traveling from that area near Maple Avenue to Fort Clark Drive, the same street where Armstrong lived with Strickland. The state did not finish speaking with Portnoy, and the defense has not had the opportunity for cross-examination. Due to recognizing Veterans Day on Friday, there was no court. So that gave me an extra day to get your update out. The trial is set to resume Monday morning, and I will stay on top of those updates next week. Make sure you like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.